My child, my beloved. There is something moving in the spirit realm right now. And it's moving fast. You were not supposed to see this, not at first, not until the final moment. But heaven couldn't wait any longer. I was commanded to come to you, right now, with divine urgency in my wings. Because someone has been working against you in silence, someone whose intentions are not what you thought. This is not to create fear, my beloved. It is to awaken your fire. The plan they crafted, layer by layer, is unraveling at this very minute. But there is one decision that can break it before it reaches your door. And it begins with you opening this message with your spirit fully awake. Archangel Michael is not speaking to the masses today. This was written only for the chosen. You. Before you read any further, pause for just one moment and subscribe now to stay connected with this divine stream. Because what I'm about to reveal is not something that should ever be missed. This is a shield. A sword. A window. One click to subscribe will mark your name in the spiritual records of alertness, obedience, and protection. My child, my beloved. I saw your name being spoken in a place where your presence was not welcome. I saw your energy being discussed like a threat. Because it is. You are a threat to darkness. Your light is louder than you think. Your breakthrough is brighter than they can handle. That's why they've gathered, in thoughts, in whispers, in manipulation. But what they didn't know is this: Archangel Michael has already circled you. My wings have been drawn, my sword awakened. And the moment you opened this message, the clock that governs their secret plan began to count backward. They wanted to delay your blessing. But now, it's their delay that has started. Their plot will fall into itself like dust in reverse wind. But you must choose. You must not scroll away. You must not skip. Because if you ignore this moment, the timing will shift, and what was meant to pass over you may attempt to touch you. I don't say this to threaten, I say this to protect. My child, my beloved. A decision is coming to you within the next hours. It will look ordinary. It will feel like just another choice, another small yes or no. But in the spirit, it is a gate. If you choose and trust, you will walk into a reversal so divine that even your enemies will weep in confusion. But if you delay, if you allow fear or doubt to make that decision for you, you may watch a divine opportunity slide into someone else's timeline. The heavens don't waste gifts. But they do shift them. This is not a message of punishment, this is a message of awakening. You have been marked for something bigger than you've been told. Even now as you read this, there is a whisper in your chest confirming it. This isn't just a text. This is an intervention. The plan against you will expire in minutes. But only if you let this warning anchor deep. I don't want you harmed. I want you crowned. My child, my beloved. A name has been mentioned near yours. This name is connected to a long thread of delay and silent sabotage. For too long, you have questioned your own instincts. You have wondered, why do I feel something off, even when they smile? The truth is, your soul recognized something your mind wasn't allowed to explain. But now, I am permitted to speak what heaven has been whispering for weeks. This person, this spirit, was never assigned to elevate you. They were permitted in your story to reveal your own power. Their betrayal will become your training. Their lie will birth your legacy. But you must not keep them close once you see the signs. Do not look at their face. Look at their energy. Look at what happens to your peace when they are around. Do you feel drained? Do you feel confusion? That is not of God. That is the red flag you prayed to see. You asked for clarity. This is your answer. My child, my beloved. Do not wait for an apology. Do not wait for a confession. Most secret plans never get spoken aloud. They get exposed by God in silence. And that is what this moment is. Divine exposure. I have been instructed to tell you, the next 3 days hold a series of moments where your response will rewrite your future. You are not in danger, unless you walk away from this knowing. Your enemy is not more powerful than your calling. But your calling demands trust. It demands your yes even when the path looks unfamiliar. There is an open door prepared for you. It has your name, your signature, your energy written all over it. But you must walk into it alone. This is a destiny path, not a popularity contest. Heaven will not wait for you to feel ready. Heaven moves when you feel aligned. And right now, everything in the divine world is aligned for your shift, if you do not allow fear to speak louder. My child, my beloved. Someone once spoke death over your dream. They didn't mean literal death, but they planted doubt, and that doubt grew into delay. And every time you tried to move forward, you felt like your own mind was fighting against you. But it wasn't you. It was the residue of their words. But today, in this very moment, I, Archangel Michael, have come to uproot what they planted. I have been commanded to sever the spiritual ties between you and every voice that tried to shrink your worth. This is not just encouragement, it's spiritual surgery. And it begins the moment you believe it. Say it now, I break every agreement with fear. I cancel every delay in my timeline. I choose the shift. You just unlocked something. You'll feel it in your body within hours. A lightness. A vision. A name. A new message. Watch what happens. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. Do not second guess what heaven is revealing. The signs have already been there, sudden confusion when peace was near, doors that closed right when things looked promising, people vanishing without reason. This is not random. This is resistance. Spiritual resistance. But that resistance is breaking now because this message is opening your discernment like never before. You're not going crazy. You're not paranoid. You are sensitive in the spirit. And God is using that sensitivity to save your future from entanglements you don't even see yet. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to explain anything. You only need to obey what your spirit knows is true. And when you do, your elevation will become untouchable. The very people who try to control your path will have to watch you soar without them. My child, my beloved. I want to tell you something that very few are allowed to know before it happens. Are you ready? You are about to be vindicated in front of the very people who thought you would fall. This is not just poetic justice, this is divine alignment. The favor coming over your life will silence accusations without you having to speak a word. But this level of glory requires discretion. That's why the instruction is simple. Don't announce every win. Don't share every idea. There are eyes that follow you not out of love, but out of envy. And while you've been gracious, heaven is now calling you to be wise. The less they know, the more God can protect. The less you post, the more your power grows. Let them wonder. Let them guess. The next chapter of your life will be so bright, they'll have to squint to even glimpse it. My child, my beloved. You've been asking God, why do I feel like I'm in a battle I can't see? That's because this battle was never physical. It was never about what's in front of you. It's been spiritual from the beginning. A fight for your faith. A distraction from your assignment. A whisper campaign against your confidence. And the enemy's biggest weapon? Delay. Confusion. Waiting just long enough to make you question yourself. But the moment you opened this message, something ancient and powerful began to shift in your favor. Because this is not just content. This is a spiritual lifeline. You are not just scrolling, you are being summoned. Not by me, but by the one who sent me. And I'm telling you this now because your next 48 hours will hold a divine opportunity that is time-sensitive. If you skip it, you may circle back into delay. But if you recognize it, everything changes. My child, my beloved. There is someone whose energy has been pulling on yours without permission. It's why you sometimes feel tired after seeing them. It's why you feel heavy after talking to them. They are not always aware of what they're doing, but they have spiritually linked themselves to your frequency, and they are drawing from your light. But God says, no more. I, Archangel Michael, am severing every unseen tie that is feeding on your glow without honoring your presence. It ends now. You will feel it physically in the next few hours, a lightness in your chest, a release in your body, a clarity in your thoughts. Don't ignore it. That's what freedom feels like. And from that space, your true elevation begins. My child, my beloved. You have suffered in silence for too long. You've carried battles you never shared, kept secrets to protect others, endured storms with a strength you didn't know you had. But now, it's your time. Not time to explain, time to rise. Time to receive. Time to be restored in public for what you endured in private. And it begins today. Not next week. Not after everything is perfect. Today. Because what was working against you in secret has now lost its legal right to follow you. This message has broken that contract. This divine word has ended the authority of every whisper, every false agreement, every spiritual attachment that tried to block your destiny. You are free. And nothing, not even their plan, can reverse what God has already begun to release in your name. My child, my beloved. The time has come to draw a sacred line in the sand. A line between what was and what must now be. There is no more room for guessing. No more space for giving endless chances to energies that only drain your light. Archangel Michael does not speak in confusion. This message was sent as a divine alarm, because the one working against you in secret is running out of time. And the truth they tried to bury is about to break through like morning sun. But you must stay alert. You must resist the urge to reach out to the very one who was meant to be removed. This is not a season of reaching back. It is a season of rising up. And when you rise, everything that was beneath you will fall into its own judgment. Without your help. Without your effort. Without your words. Heaven will handle it. My child, my beloved. You are not crazy for feeling what you've been feeling. The heaviness. The inner shaking. The random emotional floods. These are spiritual symptoms of a shift. Your spirit is waking up to an invisible attack that's been dressed as loyalty. But today, that attack is being dismantled. I was commanded by the throne of God to cut through every spell of deception spoken over your trust. To silence every manipulation that was sent with a smile. And to cancel every assignment meant to keep you in cycles of pain that look like love. This is the final hour of that plan's lifespan. Because your obedience has opened a shield. The mere act of staying and reading this divine warning is proof that your heart is still soft enough to receive the miracle that's about to arrive. Do not harden it with doubt. Do not let past betrayals teach you to distrust divine signs. You are being protected even now. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. Someone once spoke death over your dream. They didn't mean literal death, but they planted doubt, and that doubt grew into delay. And every time you tried to move forward, you felt like your own mind was fighting against you. But it wasn't you. It was the residue of their words. But today, in this very moment, I, Archangel Michael, have come to uproot what they planted. I have been commanded to sever the spiritual ties between you and every voice that tried to shrink your worth. This is not just encouragement, it's spiritual surgery. And it begins the moment you believe it. Say it now: I break every agreement with fear. I cancel every delay in my timeline. I choose the shift. You just unlocked something. You'll feel it in your body within hours. A lightness. A vision. A name. A new message. Watch what happens. My child, my beloved. There is a scroll in heaven with your name written in gold. This scroll was sealed until this very hour. It contains instructions for your next breakthrough. But God said you were not allowed to receive it until your heart was softened by truth. You had to walk through betrayal. You had to feel delay. Because only then would you believe that your miracle was not just random, it was custom. Tailored. Crafted by the divine. The betrayal didn't block your blessing. It qualified you for it. That's the revelation. You are not behind. You are right on time. And now the scroll is unsealed. But it will stay invisible unless you choose to receive it in faith. That means acting like the blessing is already done. That means protecting your peace like it's gold. That means walking away from old patterns, even when they beg for your attention. My child, my beloved. There's a person who's been secretly watching your rise. They've seen your light, and it has provoked something inside them. Jealousy masked as support. Smiles that feel like silence. But you must not confront them in the flesh. This is not a fight of fists. It's a fight of frequency. All you have to do is rise higher. They can't breathe where you're going. Their energy cannot survive at the altitude your next season requires. Do not fight back. Do not explain yourself. The higher you rise, the smaller their shadow becomes. That is the way of divine revenge, elevation. Not retaliation. The moment you stopped explaining yourself, heaven started moving things in your favor. Keep going. My child, my beloved. There is something happening around your name that you cannot see with your eyes, but your spirit has already felt it. Lately, you've been restless. Unsettled. Questioning things that used to feel stable. That is not confusion, it is preparation. The spirit realm has started to shift, and your name was mentioned as one who must awaken before the clock strikes the next hour. That's why I, Archangel Michael, was sent to you with this message. Not tomorrow. Not tonight. But now. Because someone's hidden plan is reaching the point of release. And if you delay in hearing this call, the damage will ripple into places you've worked so hard to protect. But here's the miracle: one act of divine obedience can reverse every unseen scheme. That act is reading this through to the very end, and letting your soul stay open, even if your mind doesn't understand everything yet. That openness is where heaven will begin your protection. My child, my beloved. There was a night recently when you woke up for no reason. Or so you thought. You may have called it coincidence. But I'm here to tell you it wasn't. That moment was a spiritual tap on your shoulder. A sign. You were waking up because something was moving around your destiny. Someone was speaking your name with a motive not born from love. And though they hid it behind laughter, behind friendship, behind closeness, the truth is, they were planting something else. A seed of blockage. But what they didn't know is this: you are divinely watched. That moment you stirred in your sleep, I was standing near your bed. And now, I'm near your screen, whispering again, open your eyes. Everything that once delayed you is now in reverse. Everything that once confused you is now becoming clear. And every shadowy presence around you is about to lose access to your life. My child, my beloved. God has held back this revelation for months, not because you weren't ready to hear it, but because heaven needed the timing to expose it clearly. And that time is now. What you're reading is not just a message, it's an unsealing. The person who has smiled in front of you and worked behind your back will soon see that their influence is ending. And they will not be able to stop it. Because you are now awakened. But awakening alone isn't enough, you must act. That act may be silent. It may be simple. It may be unfollowing. It may be deleting a message you never should have responded to. It may be blocking the energy that returns in cycles just to keep you bound. It may be choosing to stay silent when someone tries to bait you into chaos. Whatever it is, you'll know it when the moment comes. And it is coming soon. My child, my beloved. Do not second-guess what heaven is revealing. The signs have already been there: sudden confusion when peace was near, doors that closed right when things looked promising, people vanishing without reason. This is not random. This is resistance. Spiritual resistance. But that resistance is breaking now because this message is opening your discernment like never before. You're not going crazy. You're not paranoid. You are sensitive in the spirit. And God is using that sensitivity to save your future from entanglements you don't even see yet. You don't need to fight them. You don't need to explain anything. You only need to obey what your spirit knows is true. And when you do, your elevation will become untouchable. The very people who try to control your path will have to watch you soar without them. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. I know you have questions. I know the road hasn't always made sense. I know you've cried in places where no one could see. But I've seen. I've stood at your side when you thought no one was fighting for you. And now, I have been given divine clearance to reveal something that was once hidden. Your name was spoken in a sacred courtroom in heaven. A verdict was made. And you won. Every accusation that was formed against you, silently, spiritually, verbally, is being overruled. The time of being misunderstood is ending. The season of quiet suffering is lifting. A new identity is being written over you, and this time, it's authored by the hand of God alone. But you must protect it. You must not run back to the people who only loved the wounded version of you. They won't recognize this new you. And that's okay. They weren't meant to. My child, my beloved. There is one final attempt coming from the one who worked against you. A false olive branch. A familiar voice with unfamiliar intentions. Do not fall for it. It is not love. It is a trap made to look like comfort. And if you answer it, even with one word, it may delay your path by months. I was not sent to scare you. I was sent to warn you. This is a final test. And your silence will be your sword. You will be tempted to reply. You will be tempted to explain. But do not speak. Do not defend. Just rise. The one who once saw your light and wanted to dim it will now be blinded by what God is about to do through you. Their words will fall flat. Their plans will collapse. Their energy will be blocked. Not because you fought, but because you trusted. My child, my beloved. The wealth coming to you is not just financial. It is emotional, relational, spiritual. God is restoring what was taken from you in every form. And the speed of this restoration will shock you. Doors that have been closed for years will swing open in days. People you never expected to favor you will begin calling your name. And everything that once felt so far away will begin moving toward you, quickly, quietly, miraculously. But with great blessing comes great instruction: tell no one. Move in silence. Celebrate in secret. Let your results be your roar. The enemy cannot attack what he cannot see. And God is hiding you in plain sight until your appointed hour. When the time is right, the unveiling will be glorious. But for now, protect your peace like treasure. My child, my beloved. You are not losing your mind. You are losing your old timeline. And that loss may feel like chaos, like things falling apart, but it is actually alignment. It is the untangling of every thread that was never meant to weave your story. Let them unravel. Let them go. Because what is coming to replace them is handcrafted by the same God who designed the stars. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to beg for love. You were never meant to settle for crumbs when heaven wrote feasts into your destiny. But to walk into that promise, you must leave the famine. Even when it feels scary. Even when it means walking alone. Especially then. Because when you walk alone in obedience, you are never truly alone. Heaven walks with you. My child, my beloved. There are angels surrounding you even as you read this. Not as metaphor. As reality. You are not imagining the warmth on your skin. The pull in your chest. The stillness around you. These are signs. Spiritual confirmations that you are not being led by accident. And now, the mantle is shifting. You are not just a receiver of messages. You are becoming a messenger. A carrier of light. A breaker of generational patterns. A voice that will shake the silence around others who need to wake up. That's why the enemy came so hard against you. He saw your future before you did. But now, you see it too. And once you see, you cannot unsee. The veil has lifted. And you are now fully awake. My child, my beloved. There's a divine secret I've been permitted to reveal, and I must speak it slowly so it settles deep in your spirit. Your delay was not denial. It was divine strategy. The reason things didn't happen when you prayed, cried, begged, or fasted, was because something unseen was still being removed. God saw what you didn't. He heard the conversations behind your back. He watched the silent betrayal forming like a shadow around your joy. And heaven could not allow you to receive what you asked for while those wrong energies were still near. This is why things were paused. But now, the cleansing is complete. And the miracle that felt like it disappeared is now circling back, but faster, clearer, stronger. This is not the same blessing you once prayed for. It is bigger. Because now you are stronger. Now you are ready. My child, my beloved. I need you to understand something critical in this very moment. The person who tried to harm you did not win. Though it looked like they had power, though it seemed like they held the upper hand, heaven was documenting every hidden action, every lie, every manipulation they weaved in the dark. And now, a verdict has been handed down in the spirit. They have lost authority over your life. But they don't know that yet. That's why you may see them return, through dreams, memories, messages, or even chance encounters. But they are not returning for reconciliation. They are returning to reconnect to your light because their own has run out. Be wise. This is not the moment to be sentimental. This is the moment to be strong. Close the door. Keep it shut. Their chapter has ended. Your new one begins now. My child, my beloved. You are being crowned in silence. While the world sleeps, while others chase distractions, heaven is writing your new name on a scroll of glory. You have passed every test. Even when you didn't know it was a test. You stayed when you could have run. You forgave when it cost you everything. You believed when you had no reason to. And because of that, heaven is elevating you in ways that can't be explained, only experienced. The next blessing in your life will not require hustle. It will not require chasing. It will come to you like gravity, because it was always written to be yours. Your only job now is to stay aligned. Stay pure. Stay protected. And stay silent until the promise fully blooms. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. You are being crowned in silence. While the world sleeps, while others chase distractions, heaven is writing your new name on a scroll of glory. You have passed every test. Even when you didn't know it was a test. You stayed when you could have run. You forgave when it cost you everything. You believed when you had no reason to. And because of that, heaven is elevating you in ways that can't be explained, only experienced. The next blessing in your life will not require hustle. It will not require chasing. It will come to you like gravity, because it was always written to be yours. Your only job now is to stay aligned. Stay pure. Stay protected. And stay silent until the promise fully blooms. My child, my beloved. God has hidden a person for you. Not just romantically, but divinely. This person will carry answers to questions you've held for years. They will not enter your life with fanfare. They will not be loud. They will arrive quietly, but with a presence that feels like peace. This person was protected from entering your life too soon because the energies around you at that time would have polluted the purity of what was meant to be shared. But now, as the final piece of betrayal is removed from your circle, the path is clear. Do not go searching. Do not go begging. Just remain rooted in this trust. The one meant to pour into you will recognize you without introduction. And their arrival will feel like remembering something you forgot you knew. My child, my beloved. There is a miracle already in motion for you. It was released the moment you refused to retaliate. The moment you let go instead of holding a grudge. That decision unlocked a shift so large, angels had to reposition around you to carry it. You don't have to feel it yet, it's already happening. And soon, something unexpected will confirm everything I've just spoken. It might be a call, a sign, a sudden opportunity. Whatever it is, you'll know. Because your spirit will feel an overwhelming peace, even if your mind doesn't understand how it's happening. That's your signal. That's how you'll know the promise has arrived. It will not make sense, but it will bring peace. And peace is the proof of God. My child, my beloved. You are not who you were last year. You are not who you were last week. In fact, you're not even who you were yesterday. And that is why the people who once understood you now feel distant. That is why the spaces that once fit you now feel tight. That is why your old life is slowly collapsing, even if nothing seems visibly wrong. It's because you outgrew it. Your soul stretched in the silence. Your discernment sharpened in the disappointment. And now, your elevation requires new language, new circles, new patterns. Don't be afraid of this shedding. You are not losing your identity, you are returning to it. You are not starting over, you are rising higher. This is rebirth. This is restoration. This is heaven's way of making sure you never shrink again for anyone. My child, my beloved. Heaven has waited for the precise moment when your heart was soft enough, your mind still enough, and your spirit awake enough to receive this final truth: you were never forgotten. Not even once. Not even for a second. Every prayer you whispered under your breath was heard. Every tear you cried alone was counted. Every time you stayed silent to protect someone else's peace while yours was breaking, recorded. And because of your quiet faithfulness, because you stayed when it didn't make sense, because you kept believing when nothing was changing, God has authorized an unstoppable shift in your direction. It begins now. Not next week. Not next season. Now. And the only thing heaven is asking of you in return is this: do not go back. What's coming will not fit into what once was. My child, my beloved. The wind is about to change in your favor. The same places where you were once overlooked will now be the places where your name is called, honored, and remembered. The people who dismissed your worth will soon wonder how they missed it. But listen closely, this elevation is not about revenge. It's about purpose. This was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving that you were always right to believe. And now, your belief has built a spiritual platform strong enough to hold your breakthrough. Stand on it. Don't shy away from what you've earned in secret. This is not pride. This is prophecy fulfilled. Heaven rewards the humble. And you, beloved, have walked in humility through pain that would have broken most. That is why the reward will be unlike anything you've ever imagined. My child, my beloved. You've had moments where it felt like time was your enemy. You watched people around you receive what you were still praying for. You questioned, not because you lacked faith, but because your heart was growing tired. And yet, you never gave up. You may have slowed down. You may have paused. But you never truly let go. And that is why heaven never let go of you. What you didn't know is that every no you received was protecting a yes that required perfect alignment. That alignment is here. Time is no longer working against you, it is working for you. The next few weeks will carry restoration that defies the calendar. What you thought would take years will begin to move in moments. Because this is not natural favor, it is supernatural reversal. My child, my beloved. There's a reason your dreams have been more vivid. There's a reason you've been seeing repeating numbers, unusual patterns, unexpected flashes of clarity. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. The veil between the natural and the divine has thinned around you because your purpose is being intensified. You've entered a spiritual window where downloads are being sent directly to your spirit. You will begin to just know things. You will sense when someone's energy is not pure. You will feel when something is right before it happens. Do not ignore these signals. This is your spiritual intelligence being activated. You prayed for wisdom. God is answering through perception. Trust it. Move with it. It will protect you from traps that logic would never detect. My child, my beloved. My child, my beloved. You are not crazy for feeling what you've been feeling. The heaviness. The inner shaking. The random emotional floods. These are spiritual symptoms of a shift. Your spirit is waking up to an invisible attack that's been dressed as loyalty. But today, that attack is being dismantled. I was commanded by the throne of God to cut through every spell of deception spoken over your trust. To silence every manipulation that was sent with a smile. And to cancel every assignment meant to keep you in cycles of pain that look like love. This is the final hour of that plan's lifespan. Because your obedience has opened a shield. The mere act of staying and reading this divine warning is proof that your heart is still soft enough to receive the miracle that's about to arrive. Do not harden it with doubt. Do not let past betrayals teach you to distrust divine signs. You are being protected even now. My child, my beloved. There is a gift waiting for you on the other side of this choice. It's not just a material blessing, it is a complete reordering of your life. A higher level of peace. A kingdom kind of love. An opportunity so aligned with your soul that you'll recognize it without words. But you must be in position. And position comes from purity. That means letting go of connections that feel comfortable but drain your destiny. That means choosing truth even when it hurts. That means moving in silence until heaven tells you to speak. I know it's hard. But I also know you're ready. And because you're ready, the shift you've been waiting for will not pass you by. Unless you scroll past this moment and treat it as ordinary. But nothing about this is ordinary. This is the divine intervention you once cried out for when you didn't think anyone heard. My child, my beloved. Your name is being written on a list in heaven right now. A list of those whose timelines are being accelerated. But that acceleration only applies to those who obey the divine nudge without needing full clarity. Obedience always opens access. And access is what you're being offered right now. If you ignore the small whisper, you may miss the loud miracle. That's how heaven works. Quiet invitations, followed by loud rewards. You're being invited into something that has the power to undo years of delay. But it won't feel like a door. It'll feel like a whisper. A small urge. A subtle shift. A pull to say yes when your mind says wait. Follow the pull. The mind calculates, but the spirit recognizes. And your spirit is screaming right now, this is the moment. My child, my beloved. Let me show you something that will give you peace. Every time you felt you were being rejected, it was not rejection, it was redirection. Every time you lost something you begged God to let you keep, it was not loss, it was protection. And every person who ghosted you, left you, or turned against you was part of the divine clearing that needed to happen before your miracle could find you. You don't build castles on cursed ground. God had to remove the energies that were secretly working against your elevation. That's why it hurt. That's why it didn't make sense. But look now, you are still here. You are stronger. Wiser. More discerning. And you are now standing at the gate of a blessing that can only be entered by those who have passed through betrayal without becoming bitter. You passed the test. Now comes the glory. My child, my beloved. There is one more thing I must tell you. The person who has been working against you is not just someone in your life, it is also a version of you that still believes you are unworthy. That version has been sabotaging your rise. That version has been whispering doubt, craving validation, fearing success. But that version is not the real you, it is the wounded you. And the wounded you must be laid to rest so the anointed you can rise. This is your resurrection moment. Your identity is being restored. You are not who they said you were. You are not what you went through. You are not the mistakes you made. You are who God says you are. And God says you are chosen, protected, sealed, and on time. My child, my beloved. The next 24 hours are crucial. You will be tested. Not by catastrophe, but by clarity. Someone will reach out. Something from the past will knock again. Do not answer with old patterns. Do not welcome back what God finally removed. I know it looks tempting. I know it feels familiar. But familiarity is not always from God. Peace is. Look for peace. Listen for peace. Follow peace. That's how you'll know. And if you pass this test, the next phase of your purpose will rush in like wind. The door is already open. You just have to step through without dragging the past behind you. Can you do it? Heaven believes you can. I believe you can. The angels are already singing your name. My child, my beloved. There is something divine happening right now that has no words in your language, only signals in your soul. You felt it already. That quiet intensity in your chest. That pull to be still. That strange calm before a shift. It is not your imagination. It is the Spirit of God preparing you for something only the brave can carry. And you, beloved, have been counted among the brave. The moment you chose to stay, to listen, to open this message without distraction, something ancient was activated. A blessing that has been withheld for generations is being rerouted into your bloodline. But only because you said yes. Not a loud yes, but the kind that echoes in heaven because it was whispered in faith. Your obedience is a signal. And heaven is responding. My child, my beloved. I know you have questions. I know the road hasn't always made sense. I know you've cried in places where no one could see. But I've seen. I've stood at your side when you thought no one was fighting for you. And now, I have been given divine clearance to reveal something that was once hidden. Your name was spoken in a sacred courtroom in heaven. A verdict was made. And you won. Every accusation that was formed against you, silently, spiritually, verbally, is being overruled. The time of being misunderstood is ending. The season of quiet suffering is lifting. A new identity is being written over you, and this time, it's authored by the hand of God alone. But you must protect it. You must not run back to the people who only loved the wounded version of you. They won't recognize this new you. And that's okay. They weren't meant to.